voice, and we're speaking out and we're helping others find their voice. Those who have been affected of domestic violence, those who are survivors of domestic violence, we're continuing to support them. And I just wanted to say that domestic violence doesn't just affect the person who is being abused, but it affects the entire family, the children, the mothers, the fathers, everybody that's around them. So we are supporting all those who are affected and survivors of domestic violence. I just want to say that Integrity Supportive Services, this component of the organization is at its grassroots. Women of Integrity Support Center is my baby, where I had a shelter, transitional housing, and many programs, but we've narrowed down our services, and we found that where we are most effective and most needed is in the area of domestic violence. Domestic violence is just not physical. It is not just a man putting his hands on you. So if you believe that because he didn't hit you, he loves you, if he's talking to you, if he's degrading you, if he's withholding all those important necessities of life, that's abusive. And we call that violence. It's domestic violence. So we're here today, Raymond Flanagan. We want to shout you out one more time. As I said, I feel like I'm family. They're always opening their doors to community events. It's kind of the only corporate organization that I've seen as plugged in to the community and opening their doors and allowing us to come in and just do what we do. So again, we wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much to my staff, the vision board, everybody that's here. My mother, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So I've got to give her honor every time I hold a microphone in my hand, because without that woman right there, I wouldn't be who I am. So, and the cooks, Auntie, Dyrell, WBLS, another part of my family. Every time I call on them, they're here for me, without a doubt. Everybody that's here. I'm getting my Mother Jones. Every time I say my mother, he say, "What's your mother's name?" Well, she's my mother. She's mommy. So you want to call her Mother Jones? You want to call her mommy? Murdis Jones. Raise your hand, mommy. Yeah, there she go. That's my mother. The Bible says to honor your mother and father, that your days will be long on the earth. And I honor her every chance I get. She has been in the trenches with me. She's seen this at the conception in 2001 when the World Trade Center went down, and I was working in corporate, and I decided to change careers. And I told everybody what I was going to do. They looked at me like I was crazy. But I continued to tell them, and the more I told them, the more they believed. And every time I have an event, they have been there. They have been there with me, building organizations with hammers and nails and their hand paint. And every time I make a move, every time I grow, they're there. So like I said, without her, my daddy's not here. My brother, Emmanuel, thank you so much. I love you. This will probably be you guys' last time hearing my voice. And so I just want to make sure I get in those people who are very integral in my life. And also I want to shout out to the vendors, Mary Kay in the front, Sherry, she's up there doing what she do, Hudson Gilbert Realty, they are there doing what they do, Lasanji, Spa Expectations, our jewelry, everybody that's here. Again, like I mentioned, WBLS, thank you for our photographer, Walter Jones, hold your hand up. He's here doing what he do. Regina, Patricia, Tiffany, I love you. My vision board, I just want to really shout them out, because as I said, every month and every week they're on the phone with me, and we're in meetings, and we're building our office, and we're talking to people, and they're constantly there. What can we do? How can we do this? Before I go, and before I bring up the last two parts of this event, I wanted to just share with everyone what we're doing. We have identified 48 acres of land in South Carolina. So this fundraiser here is to assist us in building single-family homes. And I won't give you the location of South Carolina because it's a safe place, but it's in South Carolina, and we are building single-family, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom homes for women, because what we're finding is that the shelter systems are moving them from borough to borough. And just because he beat you in Brooklyn don't mean that he doesn't travel in Manhattan or he doesn't travel in Queens. So our thinking behind that was, let's take them out of the state. Let's give them, we are 501c3 in South Carolina. We have partnered with a lot of churches and organizations there that are ready for us and waiting for us to come, so that we can take these women who are ready to make a change in their lives and give them a new fresh start in a new place where they don't have to get on the train and worry about somebody seeing them or their family members seeing them and spotting them out. People who are abusive have access to systems and can look in this shelter system and find that person that they abuse. So what we're doing is we're raising money. It costs $35,000 to $50,000 per home to build a home for these women. And we want to give them 2 years, rent-free, bill-free, worry-free. We want them to get in there, rebuild their lives. Of course, they have children, and we're connecting with the school systems and the churches and everything down there to provide supportive services. But as I said, women who are abused domestically are not homeless people. They're not drug addicts. They're normal people with everyday lives. The only component is that they have somebody who is abusing them. So when we take them from that place of abuse, we want to be able to help them rebuild their lives and put those same components that were already there, because they're already dealing with something. So we want to help minimize the things that they're dealing with. So like I said, in South Carolina, we are building homes, single family homes. The cost is $35,000 to $50,000. See, but I'm crazy enough to believe God that I'm going to get 10 homes by the end of next year. It just takes building the first one and for people to catch the vision and to see what it is that I'm doing. But I'm serious about this. I am an educated woman. I hold a PhD. They call me Dr. Jones, and that's wonderful. I can go get a job and make as much money as I want and be comfortable. So I don't need anybody else's money to spend. I'm here. I've committed my life. I'm committed to this cause of helping women. Why? Because I'm a woman that's bruised. I'm a woman that has been broken. If you go to my website, my videos are there, the stories are there, and I'm not going to get into that all. But I said, if God brought me out, he brought me out to tell somebody about it, to help somebody else through, and to help somebody else to the next level. So I have committed my life to this thing. And I'm believing by the end of next year, we will have 10 homes built. But I'm here today. We're doing a fundraiser. Raymond Flanagan opened their doors. And whatever comes out of this, I'm grateful for it. But that's the cause we support. On all the tables, you'll see my card with a lady up with her hands up in the air, Women of Integrity Support Center. Grab a card if you know somebody who's abused. There's not a lot of information on the card. It's because it is a safe place. We don't want to give up too much information, but the number there, you give us a call and we will help you out. I'm a licensed social worker, so when they get on that phone with me, I can talk them out of crisis. I can talk them into a better place. And most of all, we have connected with Safe Horizons, many organizations who have the resources to get them where they need. So again, grab a card. You don't have to say anything to us today. And that's what I envision. I envision that some people here are not ready to talk about this story, but put my card in your pocket, and when you're ready to talk about it, we're there. Regina, raise your hand. That's one of Vision Board. Patricia, I don't know where she went, and Tiffany, she here? Raise your hand. If somebody in here needs to talk or know somebody that needs to talk, see one of these young ladies with their hand raised. They are part of our organization. They will help you or direct you to help. So right now I am done. I hope that you have clarity of why we're here. Velez, I don't know where he is, but thank you so much for opening your door. Thank you. God bless you for opening your door. He gave us carte blanche. He said, Dr. Jones, come do what you do. And so we're doing what we do. With that being said, in the order, I'm not coming back, so in the order, Patrick, thank you so much. Patrick is a community producer at BRIC. This will be televised. So Raymond Flanagan, you're going to be all in Brooklyn on the TV talking about it. But so, with that being said, as I promised you, we have a survivor. We have somebody who has been through what I'm talking about, and they're going to talk to you a little bit. How much of what they're going to share, I don't know, but we are grateful for the voice. She's a survivor. You know, she made it out. I'm sorry, I said it was my last moment, but I just want to share something. This month, I was on the computer looking at the news, and in New Jersey, it was a young lady who was preparing for her wedding. I don't know if anybody heard about this. She was preparing for her wedding. She was in a house. They were taking photos, and the ex-boyfriend came in the house and shot and killed her dead. And it's in the paper that she was dead in her wedding dress. And so what I said, I had the opportunity to talk to some youth at Edward R. Murrow on Wednesday and Thursday, and what I said to them was that that didn't just happen. there were some signs that she did not pay attention to, or she didn't know how to go out. And there's some things that she didn't do. So I wanted to give y'all that story because this thing with domestic violence is real. Okay? I'm going to end right here. So much, I love what I do, and there's so much I could say about it. But with that being said, our survivor is going to come up. Then we have some dancers that's going to come up, and then I'm going to bid y'all good night. We have some food here, some cake. Just feel free to help yourself eat as much as you want. Thank you so much. Okay.
Hi, I'm Regina Robinson, and I'm a domestic violence survivor. Wow. Okay, so I never said that out loud in the front of a lot of people before, and it just kind of like blew me away. Your mouth. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay, so for me, domestic violence started when I was a kid. I saw my mother be abused by my father. And as a result, I moved to Gary, Indiana. Like, we transported to Gary, Indiana, and I was raised in Gary, Indiana. I was born in New York, raised in Gary, Indiana. What that taught me was that if a man says he loves you and hits you, then it's okay, right? Because that's what my father said as he beat my mother. One of the worst incidents that I can recall is when both of them ended up in the hospital because he smashed her face into the radiator and she threw grits or hot grease or boiling water. She was making coffee, that's what it was. Boiling water on him, and they both ended up in the hospital. So as I grew up, I had a mixed message that it was okay for men or your partner to hit you. That was love, which resulted in me getting into domestic violence relationships because I thought it was okay. I thought it was love. As time went on, you know, it affected me in other ways, such as drug abuse. I know you wouldn't believe that now, but, you know, wow. So as a result of seeing my parents fight, you know, it affected me in a lot of ways. Sexual abuse, drug abuse, domestic violence relationships myself, right? But for the grace of God, I survived, right? And when Wanda asked me to share my story, I was very hesitant about it. But what I realized in my hesitance was that this is why I survived, right? I have a story to tell, and the only way that I can help somebody is if I share it, right? So I'm so grateful and honored to be a part of this, to be able to help others and build domestic violence shelters. It has always been my dream to be a part of domestic violence. And then, you know, me and Wanda reconnect, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. And she offered me this opportunity, and I'm very passionate about it, right? So as she stated, you know, the cards are placed throughout Raymore and Flanagan at each table. Give a card, get a card. You may not be in that situation at the present time, but you may run into somebody who needs our assistance. So please feel free to give it out, okay? That's all I got to say. That's all I can say at the present time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, you know, I thank you, Regina. Thank you so much. Give me a hug. That was awesome. You know, and as she said, this is her first time sharing her story. She's a survivor. She's a generational survivor. And I'm so proud of her because that's the first of many. She just took a hammer and broke the ice. And so, you know, that we get ready because we're going to be talking about that more. People need to see the face of survivors. They need to know you can make it. You know, they need to understand where it comes from. They need to understand that you don't just wake up one day and become abusive or accept abuse. Generally, you either saw it and you've adapted a behavior. So that's what she's talking about. Thank you so much. I love you. With that being said, our last presentation is going to be a group of ladies that is going to be dancing. I allowed her to choose. We told her what the theme was, and she chose the song. And basically, they're going to present. I don't even know what they're presenting, but I just know that we anticipate it. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. WBLS, I'm going to give this back to you.
We're just going to move this table out the way so you guys can see the performance. So let's just move this out the way.
I'll give you a hand.
All right, cool. Oh, wait. All right.